Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here, helping you with question number 17. This one's a little tricky just because of the way it's worded, so I thought I'd give you some help on it. Max bought 2 deli sandwich rolls measuring 18 inches and 30 inches, represented in picture format down here. He wants them to be cut into equal sections that are as long as possible. Into what length should the rolls be cut? How many sections will there be in all? All right, now in class, we talked about how you're looking for those words greatest number of and same number of, and those same words are in here, only it's not those same exact words, it's words that mean the same thing. So if I underline those words that mean the same thing, as long as possible means as greatest as possible, and this idea of equal sections is kind of the same idea of being the same. So when we look and reconsider here, long as possible, that means we're going to have to find the GCF of these two numbers, 18 and 30. Now, whenever we find the GCF of a set of numbers, recall that in class we've been talking about the use of factor trees, prime factorization, to find the GCF of a set of numbers. So we want to put the suspected GCF in our lineup, and you might suspect that the GCF is 6. And then you think to yourself, what's the other factor? So in this case, it would be 3. And in this case over here, it would be 5. Now, look at the green numbers and ask yourself, would they share any common factors? And if you're saying to yourself no, then you're safe to assume that 6 is the GCF. And remember, these types of questions, the framework that we've been using is you want to find the GCF, and then we're going to be multiplying that GCF by two numbers in this case, because we're talking about an 18-inch and a 30-inch sandwich roll. And we think that the GCF is 6. Now, if we look more carefully, we're talking about equal sections. It's going to be 6 inches, right, per section. Inches per section is how we should think of that. Per section. All right, so let's say we weren't confident that 6 was the GCF. Then we would proceed here with our trees. And we would get all the way down to our prime factorization, so that would look the same over here. And then we would have to make sure that we bring down the other prime number. Bring down the other prime number. Now recall with prime factorization, so this is our prime factorization for 18. This is our prime factorization for 30. Recall that we want to put the common factors in the middle where the two things overlap. So those common factors are 2 is a common factor. We'll put it in here. And 3 is a common factor. So we would put it in here. And we multiply these two numbers together to get the GCF, which is 6, and we already knew that. All right, so 6 is the GCF, and how many inches per section? So if this is our 18-inch section of sandwich roll, 6 times what would be 18? And the answer is 3. So let's visualize the 3 sections. So here's a 6-inch section, here's another, and here's another. All right, with the longer sandwich roll, now we're working with 30 inches. 6 times what would be 30? And hopefully you'd come up with 5. And we want 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections. Now let's look carefully at what the question is asking. It says, into what length should the rolls be cut? Well, we have that number right here. We want each thing should be cut into 6-inch sections. And then we need to know how many sections will there be in all. Well, we have 3 sections here. We have 5 sections here. They really want you to add these two to come up with the total section. So the only thing left you have to do is find the sum of 3 plus 5 and put it on the answer space along with the word sections. All right, good luck finishing that up.